Hi guys. Today I'm going to take a look at the Seni Super Quatro adult diapers. This is a diaper that a friend recommended to me when we were talking about cloth style backing. And I was telling him that, I'm just not really a fan of cloth style backing in general, although I've noticed that some brands have really nice cloth style backing that's really smooth, and he recommended that I try these. He said these are actually the most comfortable diapers that he's ever worn, and so I really wanted to give them a try. He actually just gave me one to try, and I gave him an what is it called? The Tena Slip Ultimas. I gave him one of those in exchange. So I only have one of these diapers. So I thought I would do a video taking a look at it, see my first impression, and obviously I'll do like a look and fit video, all that. But yeah, so let's check this diaper out. So first of all, I want to mention that this is a size large. And I looked online, and I figured it was probably similar to other medical brands. I do remember trying the Seni Quatro in the past, although this is the Seni Super Quatro, so it's a little bit different diaper. But from what I understand, they run a little small, and people recommend that you size up. So I typically wear a medium, and today I have a large, and I think large is probably what would fit me the best. So let's take a look at this diaper. So first of all, I really like this blue stripe. It's got a blue stripe all the way down, and it's got some on the sides too. And what I like about that is that will give me somewhere to reference when I'm putting the tapes on, so that I can get the tapes on symmetrically. So because this is a cloth back diaper, it's not as important, because you can actually take the tapes off and put them back on basically an unlimited amount of time. So you can see the stripes here. I really like those stripes. This is looks like the front of the diaper. Here is the back of the diaper. You see we've got an elastic waist on the back. That's nice. Oh, and we got one on the front too. So yeah, we got elastic waist on the front and back, which that's honestly, that's honestly kind of hard to come by on a medical brand. So this is a good, high quality medical brand diaper. So looks like we have leak guards. Nice leak guards on there. We have a nice acquisition zone. So typically an acquisition zone is blue. This one is kind of a mint green. And you can see it's a very long acquisition zone, which is very good, especially for those who flood their diapers. Me personally, I have urinary retention. So whenever I do lose control and void into my diaper, it's a lot of fluid all at once. And so that's why I like diapers that have an acquisition zone. The acquisition zone has bigger pores so that it can absorb quickly and also distribute the liquid throughout the padding, where it will the more slowly absorbing padding. So it looks like we have not the best coverage I've seen, but I mean that's to be expected with a medical diaper. They don't typically have as good of coverage. One thing I noticed is that the padding is a little bit asymmetrical, I guess you could say, but shouldn't be an issue at all. Let's see. Same on the front. This is the front of the diaper. That's about typical coverage for the front of a diaper, but I wouldn't say that it's got, I mean, it's got a lot more coverage than some medical brands, like Depend, for instance. It's got a decent amount of coverage. It's got a pretty good amount of coverage. So these diapers do feel pretty thick for a medical brand. I would say they feel just as thick as like an Abena M4. So, you know, luckily I actually have an Abena M4 here. Let's take a look. And so I have not fluffed this diaper or this diaper. And by the way, you know, I used to use this Abena M4 as like the gold standard of diapers, and I should probably start doing that again. Just so people have a reference, something to compare to, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's take a look here. Get that folded up all nice. I don't know, this thing seems pretty thick, pretty dense. Here's the Abena M4. You can see it's got about the same width, which I really like the width of the M4. It's the same as like a Better Dry and, you know, the medical brands. I would say these are like just as thick as the Abena M4. So they are pretty thick, pretty high capacity diapers, the Seni Super Quatro. So, I started out by talking about the backing, the cloth style backing. And, you know, I was never a fan of cloth style backing because it would like rub on my inner thighs, and it can like chafe me really easily, especially if I'm really active, like walking around and all that. But these, they do feel nice and smooth. Oh, by the way, this right here is from a camp out I just got back from, but it's a badge. Somebody's making badges. I made this badge on there's this group I'm in called the Crinkle Collective, and that's how I go by Bright Heart Raccoon with that group. So, got me a badge. Anyway, that's not the topic of this video. So, one thing I like about this diaper is, you know, it says what the diaper is. So it says, you know, Seni Super Quatro briefs, large. So it tells you what diaper they are. It tells you what size it is. That is really, really helpful, especially if you have a lot of different diapers to deal with. That's probably done for like medical facilities, so they can, like, that may have a wide variety of sizes, you know what I mean? Also, what's interesting is it has a date on here. So the date, you can see this isn't a very new diaper. It's 11/14/2023. So this diaper is a couple of years old. And it looks like it even has like a timestamp on here. Like 151/7-74. I don't know what that means. But I do like how it has some information to look at on the diaper. You know, they have batches and date. You know, that's probably what that is. 74. That's probably like the 74th batch or something that week. I don't know. But that's a good sign that you're getting a good quality diaper, because those are that's quality controls. That's traceability. So they know like what diaper was made when, in case there's any sort of issue. Okay, let's take a look at the tapes. So it's got these type of tapes here. You can see they are, wow, they are pretty sticky. So they have hook and loops and they're sticky. And I really like tapes like that, because a lot of times you'll get like a hook and loop diaper and the tapes will like come off easy. And the ones that are hook and loop but also have a little bit of adhesive just stick better, you know. So it looks like they have good tapes. They do have that that cloth kind of tape, which that's the kind of tape that they actually have on the Abena M4s now, where it's like this fabric tape. And that type of fabric tape seems to stick better. All right, that's about it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see how this diaper looks and fits, you can check that out on my other channel, ABDL Life. That's ABDLIFE. And if you want to see a demonstrational video of how to put this diaper on, you can check that out on my Just for Fans. So yeah, that's it, guys. I will see you next time.